Shalom, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, come out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of GEN.YAHANNA. Tonight's topic, we'll get into the difference between lust and love. Because we know that people say they love stuff with their lips, but really your actions show what you love. Right. It's not what you say with your lips. Because I could say, that this knife won't kill you if I stab you with it. Right. And then you'll be laying out there dead. You feel me? So you can say what you want, but the action is going to prove. You feel me? Action's always going to prove. So a lot of people be lusting after stuff because it's just what your mind and your desire is telling you what you should do. It's not what God's saying. You feel me? Love is doing what God say. A lot of y'all celebrated Mother's Day. It's because you don't love your mama. Right. If you celebrated Mother's Day yesterday, it's because you don't love your mama. And I know it hurt, but the truth hurts. So anyway, like we say, we don't go off our own heart. We're going to get into the scriptures to prove what the difference is between lust and love. Because a lot of people need to hear that. So if I could, we could start at Psalms 81st chapter. Because love is just keeping the commandments. Feel me? Whether you like it or not. Feel me? When I first came into the truth, it was a lot of commandments, that I was just getting used to. But guess what I did? Because I love the Most High, I learned to keep them. Right. Instead of doing what, feel me, I was taught by the world all my life.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 81 and verse 10. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
See, that's the problem. See, we always forget the good stuff the Most High do for us, and we go right back into sinning. Right. We've done this throughout history. That's how you know the Israelites of the Bible is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Right. Because we've been doing this throughout history. Like, okay, we ask the Most High to do something for us. Even in our wickedness, the Most High might, have a pity on us, and fix our situation. And then once he fixes what we do, go right back to sinning. Just like what this scripture talking about right here. Like, the Most High, this is the Most High that took us out of Egypt. Egypt was our first captivity. And a real evil and wicked captivity we was under the Egyptians. Right. And we still went back to sinning. Them stories was passed down through generation to generation, all the way to 2020. And we hear them stories, and we still keep sinning. We keep going. We're going all the way to 12.
Come. Open thy mouth wide, and I will fill it.
Right. You ever heard something called food for thought? You feel me? Because a lot of food, is for your mental. You feel me? This is not talking about sandwiches and pizza and tacos. This is talking about the truth. This is talking about laws and commandments, man. Open your mouth wide and I will fill it. Because the fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. I'm paraphrasing. You feel me? The fear of the Most High, fearing all this stuff he's telling us to do, even if we feel like, man, I don't really feel like doing that today. You feel me? Fearing him. You feel me? That's love. Not fearing the Most High, that's lust. You choosing to do what you want to do, even when you know it's wrong, that's lust. You feel me? You celebrating Mother's Day because your mama, you don't want her to cry. You feel me? That's lust. Because guess what? If you love your mama, you will tell her every day you love her. Right. You will buy her stuff just randomly. Just on a Monday, like, oh, Mom, there you go. Oh, what this for? Just for being amazing. Right. But you wait till Mother's Day. All that stuff, evil stuff, you've been cursing your mama out all year because she don't want to watch them kids and all this other stuff you keep doing, want to run outside with all these men, different men at night. Soon when Mother's Day come, you want to tell her you love her and you're sorry and this and that and that and this. Because that's lust. That's just the lust of the flesh. We keep going.
Verse 11, but my people would not hearken to my voice.
Right. We would never listen to the Most High. It's been time and time again, he saved us because we're not going to keep his commandments. We just going to do the lust of the flesh, do what the other nations doing, because the other nations don't have no God. Feel me? So they don't get punished like we do. They can celebrate Mother's Day and not get punished. Shoot, mama might get a Ferrari on Mother's Day. Them Edomites, them so-called white man, they getting Ferraris and Mercedes Benzes for their mamas on Mother's Day. So you sitting there thinking like, dang, if they doing all that, man, I want to celebrate it too. I want somebody to give me something.
And if I could, it's real heavy what you bringing out, because on so-called Mother's Day, I went to get me something from the store during this pandemic, and you see brothers wearing face masks still getting flowers and cards.
Right.
That stronghold's so strong. You would think that, man, you know what, it ain't that serious. You know, I can't go by my mom's house, she old, I don't want to take a chance. You know what I mean? They want that card.
Right.
That stronghold is so strong, it's stronger than the COVID-19 virus. You
right,
know what I mean?
Man.
It's a lot.
That's Christianity, man. Christianity can have you institutionalized, man. Jail ain't the only thing that'll have you institutionalized. Christianity will have you institutionalized as well. Because like the brother brought out, y'all risking giving y'all mama the virus just to give her a card. Because all year you ain't seen your mama. All year you ain't said nothing. You ain't went over and said hey to your mama all year. But you like, oh, but it's Mother's Day, I got to today, because you don't love your mom. You feel me? You just lusting after doing what our oppressors doing. But you keep
on. And Israel would none of me. Verse 12. So I gave them up unto their own hearts and lust. It's like I gave them up to their own hearts. Lust.
Right, lust. When you do something after your own heart, which is your own mind, feel me? Your own philosophies and stuff like that. That's lust, man. That's not love, man. You going to go see your mama once a year, buying your mama something once a year, that is lust, man. For all, you feel me? All the evilness you done to your mama, not listening to your mama, all while you was a kid, a teenager, you feel me? That's lust for you to just go on this one day and try to think she gonna forget all the evil stuff you done to her. Feel me? She in a nursing home. Your mama in a nursing home. How you love your mama and she in a nursing home? You taking her flowers to the nursing home. You don't love your mama.
Right.
So you finish the last sentence. Good.
And they walked in their own counsel.
Right, your own counsels, man. You feel me? Your own decisions, that's lust, man. When you do something off your own heart, your mind, that's lust, man. That's not keeping the commandments, man. The scriptures say to not celebrate these pagan holidays, man. For that reason right there, because guess what? You will love your mama all year. But instead, they told you just this one day. Feel me? This one day and her birthday. So 2 times out the year, you got to show love to your mama.
Right.
Feel me? If you want to celebrate none of this stuff, you will show love to your mama all year long. Feel me? If you really loved her and not lusting after these heathen holidays,
right.
Feel me? To give you something to do. Like, oh, it's Mother's Day. Let me go do this. I got to do that. Feel me? You don't love your mama. See, let me tell you something. See, this is how you know you love your mama if you didn't celebrate Mother's Day. You feel me? What I told my mama is, look, I'm not celebrating Mother's Day, but I got a gift for you that nobody else except brothers in I.S.U.P.K can get a mama.
Right.
Your son is a priest
right.
of the Most High. That's the gift I gave my mama. You feel me? But I gave it to her all year. You feel me? All year till I die. That your son is a priest. Your son is a righteous man. You feel me? Your son ain't stealing and robbing no more. You feel me? He ain't doing drugs no more. You feel me? That's how you show love to your mama. You don't show love to your mama by buying her a gift on her birthday and Mother's Day. Then go back to smoking weed, having sex with white women. I would never touch a white woman for my mother.
Right.
You feel me? That's how you show love to your mother. I'll never touch a white girl because of my mother. You feel me? I mean, to show respect to my mother. You feel me? Show love to my mother. Y'all don't show love and respect to y'all mother because you bringing a white girl over her house. You feel me? When what these white women done to our black women throughout slavery, man. Treated them like pets. Had them walking with leashes, running through the field, man. And you going to bring a white girl home. Come on, man. Stop it, man. Yeah, we could drop that and go to Deuteronomy 17 and 7.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17.
Verse 17. Yeah, because men lust after women Feel me? And have bad intentions.
God. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17 and verse 17. Neither shall he multiply wives to himself.
Hold on, see? Oh, they got us now. They got us now. Okay. They've been telling us forever that because we say you have multiple wives, that's lust. That's not love. You feel me? So I guess this scripture done got us finally.
Right.
Finally, we done been condemned. They done got the I.S.U.P.K. Wrong. There's no scriptures in here saying you can or can't have multiple wives. It's all just showing you how to deal with if you do or if you don't have none. None of these scriptures is saying if you can or can't. Because it's not unlawful to or not to. It's just all up to your preference, what you want. But this scripture is talking about is how men, feel me, lust after women and it'll turn their heart away from serving the Most High. That's what this scripture is talking about. It's saying, don't multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away. That's what it's talking about. It's saying, don't get 6, 7 wives if you know them women gonna make your work in the truth diminish. If it's gonna make you not keep these commandments. You feel me? If you gonna come in and be unclean all the time. You unclean all the time because you got 6, 7 women and you don't know how to, you feel me? You don't know how to deal with them. That's what this talking about. It's just saying don't multiply women to where your heart will turn away from serving the Most High. Because then it'll be lust. But there's nothing wrong with you having 6, 7 wives. Feel me? As long as you can deal with them, feel me? You keep going.
That his heart turn not away, neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold.
Right, silver and gold. See, that's the same thing. That's what this is about. This is about, it's not saying you can't have multiple wives, and it's not saying you can't have silver and gold. What it's saying is don't go after riches and don't go after multiple women if it's going to make you sin against the Most High. Right. If it's going to make you leave the truth. That's what this is talking about. You feel me? That's what this law is talking about. It's not saying you can't. For all the women out there saying we lustful, you feel me, for saying you have more than one wife. You feel me? That's our God-given right. You feel me?
Right.
That's our God-given right as the chosen men of the earth. You feel me? That we can deal with more than one wife. You feel me? And the thing about it is, as long as it don't turn our heart away from serving the Most High.
Right.
Same thing with silver and gold. Ain't nothing wrong with getting, you want to get a corporate job, go ahead. You want to open up you 10 businesses, go ahead. Ain't nothing unlawful about that. But don't do it if you're going to start sinning against the Most High. Don't do it if you got to sell pork in one of your restaurants just to make some money. Feel me? So, yeah, that's that though. Yeah, we could drop that and we go to Matthew's 12th chapter. Because keeping the law is the love of the Most High, man. And a lot of y'all mamas don't even keep the law. Why y'all so thirsty to celebrate Mother's Day.
Right.
A lot of y'all mamas don't even keep the law. That's how you can show her you love her. Tell her to stop eating pork so she can get off the medicines. Tell her to stop eating shrimp and clam and all that other stuff. But yeah, Matthew 12 and 46, one out of the way to 50.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12 and verse 46. While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without, desiring to speak with him.
Right, so now this is, he is Christ. Christ handling business. Christ out teaching the people, doing his thing. And Mary and his brother came up trying to holler at him. You feel me? We can keep going.
Verse 47. Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee.
They're trying to holler at him.
Verse 48. But he answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother? And who are my brethren?
Right. So next time Mother's Day roll around, just read Matthew 12 and 48.
Right.
Next time Mother's Day roll around, your birthdays, all that stuff, roll around, man, and you in this truth, man, just read Matthew 12 and 48, man. Christ said this out of his own mouth, man. That's why they say we a cult. That's why they say we a cult, man, because we know cowards, man. We even going against our mamas. You feel me? You know, them Christians scared to go against Big Mama. Them Christians, they scared to go against, but they ain't going against Big Mama. No, not to fed them chitlins on Christmas and Thanksgiving all their life. They ain't going against Big Mama.
And if I'm real, there's somebody online, Lorenzo Terry says, having more than one wife is bullshit. That's why it's not good to listen to some of y'all.
It's not. Oh, hold on, wait. He just probably can't have more than one wife. See, look, this is what you understand, Lorenz.
Terry.
I thought Lorenz Tate. This is what you understand, Lorenz. You feel me? You can have more than one wife, man, but men like you shouldn't.
Right.
And I will tell you that men like you should never try it. You feel me? Get you one wife,
right, and
y'all live happily ever after, like the fairy tale say.
If I could, a lot of people that say that are homosexual.
Right,
too.
that too.
Know what I mean?
That too. And homosexual, for damn sure, can't have more than one wife.
Right.
You feel me? You taking a ride. So, yeah, Lorenz, man, you know, you want to get that demon up off you, though, Lorenz. You know, we in every major city. Feel me? I.S.U.P.K and the Commander GEN.YAHANNA. All you got to do is go to the website, pay your tithes. Feel me? Look for us in your city.
Right.
Get them demons up off you, Lorenz, man.
God.
Show you how to get more than one wife.
That's right.
Yeah, we could start it for that again. We could, sir.
God. Verse 48. But he answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother and who are my brethren?
Right. Who is my mother? Who is my brother? And that's them rhetorical questions. He know Mary and his brother. He know who they is. Them rhetorical questions, man. A rhetorical question is only asked because it don't need an answer. You feel me?
Right.
Well, you keep going, sir.
God. And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said,
his brothers out there with him.
Right.
Them his brothers out there with him. It's like him.
And said, behold, my mother and my brother.
Right, you keep going.
Verse 50. For whosoever doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother.
Right, man. Next time they want you to celebrate their birthday or Mother's Day, man, tell them that if you do the will of my Father in heaven, that's what makes you my brother,
right,
my sister, my mother. You feel me? You telling me to come eat these pork chops on Mother's Day, you feel me? Come get a plate, bring me my gift. That ain't something my mother's supposed to do.
Right.
When in the law of Moses, when it said honor the mother and the father, you feel me? That was because they were supposed to be the first teachers of the law. That didn't mean if she give you some pork chops, you supposed to eat it.
Right.
Or you disobeying God. Because that's what we was taught growing up in a Christian household. We was taught that whatever your mama and daddy say do and you don't do it, you disobeying God. But no, it's not true. It's only if they keeping the will of the Most High, then you disrespecting the Most High.
Right.
And right now he out there with his brothers, man. He like, man, he basically saying these my brothers. You feel me? This is my brethren right here, man, because they do the will of my Father, man. My mother and my brother, they ain't with this. They ain't down for this, man. I know y'all probably never heard that before. Like, Mary? The Virgin Mary? Is you kidding me? We worship the Virgin Mary, especially the Israelite brothers and sisters. Worship the Virgin Mary. Virgin Mary all over their house. Cars, chains, everything. But nah, Mary went down for what he was down for. That's why he say, who is my mother and my brother, man? I'm out here with them right now.
Right.
I'm out here with them right now because they do the will of the Most High.
That's right.
I'm telling you, man, Mother's Day come back around, man, you read that scripture to your mama, man. Matthew 12 and 48, man. Who is my mother? Who are my brethren, man? But yeah, we can drop that and go to 1 Kings 11th chapter. All right, because we're going to talk about how Solomon lost the kingdom. Because a lot of women use this as why men shouldn't be able to have more than one wife. They like, oh man, but Solomon lost the kingdom for having more than one wife. And this and that and that and that. Man, you got to be a fool.
Right.
You feel me? You got to be a fool to think that King Solomon, the wisest king of all time, he lost it because he wanted to have more than one wife. That ain't why King David lost it. I mean, well, he didn't lose it, but that King David didn't lose it. He had more than one wife. You feel me? He didn't lose the kingdom. It was passed down to his son. So what is like that just contradicts itself right there, saying King Solomon lost the kingdom because he had more than one wife. 1 Kings 11, 1 through 4. If you could.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 11, verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women.
Right, man. Come on, you gotta be a fool You gotta be outside your mind if you think King Solomon, the smartest king, lost it just because he wanted more than one wife. Y'all do anything, man. Y'all do anything because that's selfishness. Women out there saying that it's wrong for men to have more than one wife, that's just lustful. You feel me? That's lustful and selfishness, man. When women know that it's gonna take more than one woman to please a righteous man of the Most High, it's gonna take more than one, man. You can't do it by yourself, man. You got periods, you got pregnancies, you got all type of what is called bipolar disorder, all type of stuff going on, man. A man need more than one woman, man.
Right.
Come on, man. That is as holy as the Sabbath day.
That's right.
We keep going, sir.
Together with the daughter of Pharaoh.
Right. An Egyptian. He took an Egyptian woman. When Moses gave down a law saying, don't take their daughters and don't give your sons to their daughters. You feel me?
Women of the Moabites.
Right. The Chinese. The Chinese, man. Come on, man. The Chinese women. What is Solomon doing with Chinese women, man? Brothers don't even try to get Chinese women today.
Right.
As lost as we is. Bro, you don't see no brother trying to holler at no Chinese woman in the restaurant.
Right.
When they getting that chicken and that fried rice and they gone. I ain't never been with no brothers and they try to holler at the Chinese girl in the restaurant. I'm just being honest.
Ammonites.
Japanese.
Edomites.
So-called white girls.
Zidonians.
That's the Canaanites.
And Hittites.
Some more Africans. See, that's what he did, man. That's what he did. He loved strange women, man. That's how he lost the kingdom. Feel me? For women out there thinking all this time, the last some odd years, that the reason why Solomon lost the kingdom was because he had more than one wife. You got to be a fool, man. Monogamy was started with our oppressors, man. They started that custom. You keep going. We're going all over the phone.
And he had 700 wives. Slacky. Of the nations concerning, verse 2, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, you shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you. Right. See, the Most High saying, Most High already been said this in Deuteronomy, you feel me? And in Leviticus, that we're not supposed to take them women, man. You feel me? We're not supposed to take them women. That's not our custom. You feel? That's not one of our statutes to do. You feel me? That's how the earth got flooded, man, with the sons of God having sex with the daughter of men. Right. If you could go back into Genesis, you will see that's how it got flooded. Interracial dating. But King Solomon, being the wisest king of all time, you feel me? He took hold of them strange women. And that was his downfall. You keep going. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Right, and that's exactly what it did. He was building up statues and stuff, worshiping their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. That's lust. It say love, but that was lust. Right. All them fine black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women in Israel, and you chose the heathens. You feel me? You chose some Japanese women and some Chinese women and some African women, man. And the Zidonians, that's where Jezebel descended from. You feel me? To just show how wicked that race is. Right. So, yeah, we keep going. And he had 700 wives. Right. 700 wives. Princesses. And 300 concubines. Right. And his wives turned away his heart. Right. Now, to let you know what a concubine is. A concubine is a woman. She's like a spoil of war. Right. She's a woman that, like, okay, y'all conquered her land, and her fathers, her brothers, and all them is dead. All her people really too. So you just take them as property, as sex slaves, really. You feel me? Which ain't cool no more. No, we ain't into that. But I'm just saying, like, that's what was going on back then. So he had 300 concubines. So those are heathen women. Those are not Israelite women. Feel me? That's how he lost the kingdom, man. 300 concubines. Those heathen women. You keep going. Verse 4. For it came to pass, when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other gods. Right. So he ain't even following the Most High no more. You keep going. And his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, as was the heart of David his father. Right. So he stopped even following the Most High. That's what they'll do. They have you eating their food. You feel me? You like, oh man, yeah, let me try that. Africans in there cooking all type of stuff. Oh, that smells good. Let me try that. Oh, you got a God for what? You know, my back been hurting too. You got a God for back pains? Right. I'm telling you, what the Egyptians had so many gods.
They had so many gods, they had a God for everything. They had a God for anything you could think of. They just made a God for it. You feel me? So yeah, that's what happened with King Solomon, man. The wisest king of all time. He lost the kingdom, though. He lost it because he wanted heathen women. It was not because he had multiple wives. There's nothing wrong with multiple wives, as long as you know how to deal with them, which obviously he didn't, because he was picking the wrong ones. Feel me? But yeah, we can drop that, and we go to Esther 2 and 5. Right, because a lot of, let me tell you what this one girl told me. That's why I had to break this down. She told me, now I know we did this with the Feast of Purim, but I guess she didn't understand what the Feast of Purim is about. So she told me that Esther had a heathen husband, so I can get one. She talking about she got a king. Her king is he's in Asia. Right. And he's helping her feed Israel, like what happened with Esther, or something like that. I'm like, what? I say, man, you got that whole story misconstrued. So yeah, we're gonna just break it down real quick for women think they could get them a heathen husband like Esther did.
Okay. Where we at?
Esther 2 and 5.
It's the book of Esther, chapter 2, verse 5. Now in Shushan, the palace, that was a certain Jew. It's like there was a certain Jew whose name was Mordecai, right, the son of Jair, the son of Shimei, the son of Kish, a Benjamite. All right, so-called West Indian. So basically, what's going on is that they in Persia, feel me? And they basically like spoils of war, because Persia, we was already in slavery under, I think, Babylon, if I'm not mistaken. But you can read the story and go back to all that. We just gonna skip through. But yeah, we was already in slavery under another kingdom, heathen kingdom, and Persia ended up, you feel me? They was up next. Like all these kingdoms had their turn. So Persia was up next, and they real prosperous, they real big. So now we slaves in Persia, under the Persian Empire. Who had been carried away from Jerusalem, which was captivity, which had been carried away with Zedekiah, king of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away.
Right, so basically we like spoils of war. Like we just slaves in Babylon, and they didn't got into it, and Persia now on top, and now we slaves in Persia. So we going out with 7.
And he brought up Hadassah, that is Esther, his uncle's daughter, for she had neither father nor mother, and the maid was fair and beautiful, whom Mordecai, when her father and mother were dead, took for his own daughter.
Right, so now Mordecai, this is his, what it says is his father, his uncle's daughter. This is his uncle's daughter. Feel me? He took her to be his daughter. Like, man, your mom and daddy dead, you with me. You feel me? Because, we all kinfolks. Blood of my, flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. You with me now. You my daughter. You feel me? Because this book is about Esther, because what she done. But the leader in this book is Mordecai. He was the leader, man. While people thinking like Esther was the leader, it's named after Esther because what she done. But the leader was Mordecai. He was the leader, and he was her father figure. So yeah, we're going to skip that and jump over to chapter 9. Right, because basically like we just being oppressed. You can read that on your own time. But we was being oppressed. Like how we been oppressed now, dying, all type of stuff in the Persian Empire, man. And the Most High had to step in and put his foot in it, man. Feel me? Like he always do. He always coming for our rescue. Feel me? But he chose to use Mordecai and Esther. Feel me? Because the Persian king, he needed a wife because his wife was like acting real, like, she ain't want him really. So he threw her away. And Esther came in. He picked her to be his wife. And she basically seduced him to let Mordecai, become like his second in command and stuff like that. In the Persian Empire. The whole empire, like what happened with Joseph and Pharaoh. It was like one of them type of situations. You keep, it's like 9 and 2 through 6.
It's the book of Esther, chapter 9 and verse 2. The Jews gathered themselves together in their cities throughout all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus to lay hands on such as sought their hurt, and no man could withstand them, for the fear of them fell upon all people.
Right. It wasn't like that at first. When Esther, before Esther became his queen and she was pleasing him, you feel me, to let Mordecai get some type of rank and stuff like that, to change stuff with the, what was his guard now? I think his name was Haman. Because he was the one that was, Haman. He was the one that was real evil towards the Jews, killing them and oppressing them. Haman. Yeah, he was the one killing them and oppressing them. So she was basically trying to cut him out.
Right.
She was basically trying to cut out him because he was the one doing all the oppressing and the killing towards her people. You feel me? Because the Most High was using Mordecai and Esther. You feel me? Even though he had to use him to marry the heathen king because he was the king over the land. I think it said 127 districts. You feel me? That he was over. You feel me? That's a lot of land.
Right.
So he needed to use Esther to get up in his head to let Mordecai get in. You feel me? And become like his second in command. So Mordecai can take over and free his people. You feel me?
Right.
From persecution.
Verse 3. And all the rulers of the provinces, and all the lieutenants, and all the deputies, and officers of the king helped the Jews.
Right? Because of Esther. She was his queen. And her family is the Jews. That was the whole reason why the Most High made her become his queen. You feel me? That was the whole reason why. Because he was trying to establish something, man. He was trying to bring down a kingdom at all costs. You feel me? It had nothing to do with him. Oh yeah, I think I like the Persians. Oh yeah, you could marry a Persian. You feel me? It had nothing to do with that. It's just him trying to bring down a kingdom, man. You feel me? He used one Israelite woman to bring down a kingdom, because that's how bad she was. They say she was a very fair and beautiful lady.
Right.
You feel me? And he used her to bring down a kingdom with her uncle. Her uncle Mordecai.
Right.
But you keep going.
Help the Jews because the fear of Mordecai fell upon them.
Right. He was a warrior, man. Benjamite, man. We're going all the way to 6.
Verse 4. For Mordecai was great in the king's house, and his fame went out throughout all the provinces. For this man Mordecai waxed greater and greater.
Right. Mordecai was no coward, man. And this was his plan. This was his plan to do all this. Esther didn't come up with this. This was his plan to use her to do this, man.
Right.
To get close to the king. But you keep going.
Verse 5. Thus the Jews smote all their enemies with the stroke of the sword, and slaughter, and destruction, and did what they would unto those that hated them.
Right, man. They was being, man, look, man. Lynchings, that stuff ain't nothing new, man. Lynchings, what happened with the brother Ahmad, you feel me? And the brother in Indianapolis, that ain't nothing new, man. This was happening to us in Persia thousands of years ago. And to Esther and Mordecai and Esther stepped in. The Most High used them to bring down another kingdom. Feel me? Well, you keep going.
And Shushan, the palace, the Jews slew and destroyed 500 men.
Right, they killed 500 men in the palace, man. 500 men in the palace. But you can drop down to verse 16. We'll be done with that.
Verse 16. But the other Jews that were in the king's provinces gathered themselves together and stood for their lives, and had rest from their enemies, and slew of their foes 75,000.
Right, 75,000 people they killed. You feel me? All because of Esther was able to sway this king. You feel me? She was so bad and so beautiful that he married her, and she was able to sway him. You feel me? To lift up off the oppression of the Jews, and even let Mordecai become his second in command. Now Mordecai basically doing whatever he want. You know, that's what the second in command do. You basically do whatever you want, man. And what did he do? He wanted vengeance for his people. 75,000 men, you feel me? And because of this, you know, it became the Feast of Purim that we celebrate, man.
Right.
That's why we celebrate the Feast of Purim. It's because of this victory. Like most feasts we celebrate, it's because of a victory.
That's right.
But a lot of you get this story confused, thinking that you can marry a heathen man or woman. That's not true. That's not true, man. This was used to bring down a kingdom, man. This was love. This was not lust.
Right.
You feel me? A lot of y'all just lusted. You want a white girl, you want a Chinese girl. Want an Arab girl, just lust. I ain't never had one before.
Right.
I ain't never had one. I want to see what it's like. Come on, man. End up with some type of disease or I ain't no telling what you might get, man. They have sex with animals and stuff.
Right.
So that don't get the book of Esther confused with that you can have a heathen woman or husband because she did it. Because it's not, then that the Bible contradicts itself then. Because it say we're not supposed to take their daughters and give our sons to their daughters. You feel me? Right. So yeah, we're gonna drop that and we're gonna go to Judges 14 and 1. Right, because heathen women, man, that's a lust. That's not love. No matter how you want to put your finger on it, that's lust. It's not love.
It's the book of Judges, chapter 14, verse 1. And Samson went down to Timnah and saw a woman in Timnah of the daughters of the Philistines.
Right. Samson was prophesied to rise up, man, and be mighty. Look what he wanted to do. He wanted Africa. A Philistine at that. They was warned with the Philistines, feel me, like Tom and Jerry. Feel me? They was been warned with the Philistines like Tom and Jerry throughout the whole Bible. Feel me? Nothing but wars. All you see is Philistines, the Jews. Philistines and Jews. That's all you see. Feel me? In the Old Testament.
Right.
You keep it. We're going all over 3.
And he came up and told his father and his mother and said, I have seen a woman in Timnah of the daughters of the Philistines. Now therefore get her for me to wife.
When the law say you're not supposed to. The law say you're not supposed to. But Samson being a simp.
Right.
That's all Samson was. Now he was a mighty man. Don't get me wrong. He did some good stuff with the foxes, the jawbone. We know about that. But what I'm saying is the reason why he had to do it is because he was a simp.
Right.
But the Most High used him. You feel me? Because the Most High is smarter than all of us. He knew what was going on. He knew what was going to happen. You feel me? And Samson, he knew Samson was going to be a simp, even with all his strength and might. But you keep on going all the way to 3.
Then his father and his mother said unto him, Is there never a woman among the daughters of thy brethren, or among all my people?
Right. Either tribe. It's 12 tribes. His parents telling them, get somebody of your brethren, man.
Right.
Feel me? Or among my people, which basically means either the tribe we from or the other tribes. You feel me? Either the tribe of Dan or the other tribes. There's a bunch of other tribes. Pick one of them. We've been at war with the Philistines since free lunch. Why is you want one of them women, man? Why would you want to do that? Because of lust, man. Because of lust. That's why. He got his eyes poked out, all type of stuff, man.
That thou goest to take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistines?
Right, man. These nasty Philistines. You want one of them.
And Samson said unto his father, Get her for me, for she pleaseth me well.
Right, he ain't even touched her yet. He was a simp. That's what I'm saying, man. Samson was a simp. He did some mighty stuff. You know, he got a book. You know, so he did mighty things. But we got to look in between the lines, man. Like when we say John the Baptist wasn't in the truth. Feel me? Stuff like that. You got to look in between the lines, man. Samson was a simp, just like John the Baptist wasn't in the truth. And a simp is just, feel me, a sucker for love. You a sucker for love, man. That's what he was, man. And that's lust. That's not love, man. Because his mama and his daddy telling him, get one of my people or of your brethren, man. Of any of the other tribes. Get one, and he know, I won't get me her. She pleased me. Going directly against the Most High. Wonder why we sitting under the Philistines.
Right.
You know me? But, yeah, you could drop that. Go to Judges 16 and 27. Because I'm going to show you some love. That was lust, but I'm going to show you love of the Most High. That was lust. This is the love of the Most High, which is what matters.
This is the book of Judges, chapter 16 and verse 27. Now the house was full of men and women, and all the lords of the Philistines were there. And there were upon the roof about 3,000 men and women, and beheld while Samson made sport.
Right, he was made sport like cattle. You feel me? They got him chained up, doing all type of stuff. Poked his eyes out. They poked that man's eyes out, shaved his head, all kind of stuff, man. You feel me? They turned turned him to now I can't even say that on camera. But you feel me? They made him real soft. You feel me? They took his strength away. Took his strength away from him, man.
Now, if I may, there's a king, somebody that claims to be some king's vendetta. He put a clown emoji and then he posted the word shit. Basically, he said clown shit over what you're saying.
He don't think Samson was a simp. That's what he's saying.
No.
Yeah, he was a simp. Man. He was a simp, but the Most High used that simp to bring down the Philistines, man. Just like he used Esther to bring down the Persians. Feel me? Used Esther to bring down the Persians, man. It was no love in there. It was no love. It was no changing of the law. Wasn't no laws being changed saying you could have heathen women or men. No. It was something real drastically finna happen. So I don't know what type of clown shit is that.
Right.
But heathens dying, you feel me? The Most High got to do this for it to happen. It's a damn shame because we just so lustful after these heathens that the Most High got to use us to be with one to bring them down. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, if you could go drop down to 30, we'll be done with that.
Okay. Verse 30. And Samson said, "Let me die with the Philistines."
Right. He ready to die for this. Now tell me Samson ain't no simp.
Right.
You feel me? Tell me Samson not no simp, man. You talking about clown shit? How is that clown shit when the man, you drop down 2 more verses, the man say, "Let me die with the Philistines." Come on, man. That girl must have looked good. That must have been a fine African woman. I ain't never seen one. But I'm just saying. Yeah, this was a long time ago. Because ain't no way I'm telling the Most High, let me die with no Philistines. But he messed up so bad, he felt like, man, all my eyes poked out. You feel me? They just shaved my head, took my strength away. Ain't nothing else I could do, man. But just let me die with the Philistines. That box was to die for. But you keep going.
And he bowed himself with all his might, and the house fell upon the lords, and upon all the people that were therein.
Now those lords, that's lowercase, so that's talking about the princes of Philistine. I'm getting the P words mixed up.
Okay.
The Philistines, not talking about like no angels or none of that.
And if I may, like he had 2 pillars, right? And he was able to use with strength because his hair did start to grow back, and he was able to push those pillars, and it caved in. All of it caved in and killed the Philistines. You know what I mean? So he was trying to, if I could, die an honorable death because he knew he messed up.
Right.
Lusting out the African women, Philistine, because they come, they are tribe of Canaan,
Right.
Hamite. So what he was trying to do was get some measure of redemption for
Right.
himself. But to sit there and say he want to die with them, you know what I mean?
That killed me.
You know
I
what
ain't gonna lie. That messed me. I was crying loud.
And it's real heavy what you're saying, because if he loved his people in the first place, if he would have just loved, and love is the commandments, he would have listened to his mother and father and followed the commandments, that would have been love. Like you saying, it's real heavy.
Right.
You know what I mean? That he lusted.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's real heavy.
That's exactly what he did. He was lusting at them Philistines. Turn around at the end and say, "Let me die with him." That was a weird way to put it. Even though I know he was trying to get his glory back, but he keep going.
Where was that again?
Fell upon the lords.
Okay.
30.
And Samson said, "Let me die with the Philistines," and he bowed himself with all his might, and the house fell upon the lords, and upon all the people there that were therein.
Right.
So the dead which he slew at his death were more than they which he slew in his life.
Right. Because he did a lot of stuff, Did a lot of stuff. You read the story of Samson, but the thing about it is that particular time when he died with them. He killed, that was more than he killed altogether. I think they said it was 3,000 people in there. And he's royalty too. Like, this ain't the poor people, the sheep herders. He's royalty, So at the end, he did something right for the Most High. And that was the love. Feel me? That what he done, that was love. That wasn't lust. That was love. Love for the Most High. Love for his people. But that stuff that got him in that situation was lust. Feel me? Lusting after them Philistines. That's what got him in that situation. We drop that. Go to the book of Nehemiah. Nehemiah. Right, because, you know, a lot of people, you know, Samson like to fight. Like a lot of us, you know, a lot of us like to fight, but like it's different between fighting to defend yourself, like, or your people, or you just like drunk, just want to fight all the time, or you high, want to fight all the time, or just got an attitude problem, some demon on you, just want to fight anytime somebody look at you or look at you funny and stuff like that, man. That ain't cool. That's lust. That's a lust demon on you to want to fight. That's a demon. But, you know, and it's, you know, defending yourself is, you know.
And if I may, you want to fight them demons, you in the Louisville area, you know, you want to get the plug for the Louisville.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you want to fight them demons, you already know where we at, man. It's I.S.U.P.K. Louisville. Yeah. You in Kentucky. You feel me? Get in touch with us, you know. You feel me? Go to the Facebook page, I.S.U.P.K. Louisville. Go to the YouTube channel, you know, No Cowards Louisville. You feel me? We out here, man, to serve our people, man. You feel me? To feel, you feel me? You up, man, with the Holy Spirit. You feel me?
That's right.
You feel me? So the Most High can be on your side. You can stop celebrating Mother's Day. You feel me? Trying to be on your mama's side. You feel me? You need to get on God's side.
Right.
That's what you need to do. Yeah. So we in book of Nehemiah 13 and 20. He's on 21.
It's the book of Nehemiah, chapter 13 and verse 20. So the merchants and sellers of all kinds of ware lodged without Jerusalem once or twice.
Right, so Nehemiah and them trying to get Jerusalem back on track. Because there's been a bunch of times where we done went in slavery and all that stuff and lost the temple, got it back, lost the temple, stuff like that. So they trying to build back up Jerusalem, you feel me? And it's a bunch of heathens steady coming, you know, trying to sell stuff. Feel me? On the Sabbath day at that, you feel me? We ain't supposed to be doing that. We supposed to be chilling, relaxing. That's what the Sabbath day was made for us, to chill out. Feel me? Do something we want to do. Not make no heathens rich. Feel me? Buying stuff from them and stuff like that. But, yeah, you keep going.
Verse 21. Then I testified against them and said unto them, Why lodge ye about the wall?
So now Nehemiah like, so what y'all got going on? Feel me? What y'all got going on? What y'all got going on? Because what he about to do, what he about to say is love, man. Feel me? It's love for his people.
If ye do so again, I will lay hands on you.
Right. Now the pastor will tell you like, that mean like, oh, I'm going to put my hand on your head and I'm going to rebuke this demon and I'm going to do this and that and that. Nah, that's what the pastors think, lay their hands on your head. But the real priest, I.S.U.P.K. and Commander GEN.YAHANNA, we know that means whoop your ass. You come back around here trying to sell stuff on the Sabbath day, I'm going to get you together. That's basically what Nehemiah was telling me. Like, I'm going to get you together. I'm going to put these paws on you, man. You feel me? And that's not no demon. You feel me? A demon is you want to fight because you drunk and you high, you're mad about your girl. Nehemiah wanted to fight because he tired of y'all trying to sell on my people on the Sabbath day.
Right.
He ready to throw them hands, man. He say, man, stop coming over here. Why do you lodge? That's what he's saying. Why y'all keep chilling over here? Feel me? Y'all keep trying to sell and jug to my people, man. Go on about y'all business, man. You keep going.
For that time forth came they no more on the Sabbath.
Right, they came back no more. And you know how heavy that is? Because if we had men like that from the beginning, you feel me? Now, thanks to the Most High Christ and Commander GEN.YAHANNA, it's back now. But I'm saying, if it been like that, the heathens would have never been able to come in our communities, man. If we had strong black men leaning up on them like the mob do. Feel me? Leaning up on them like, hey, look, man, what y'all doing here? The Africans and the Chinese and the Japanese and the East Indians, some strong black men walking up to their establishment like, hey, leaning up on them like Nehemiah did. Hey, what y'all got going on? Oh, we selling, we trying to sit. Nah, get out of here. Right. If y'all come back, I'm going to put these hands on you. Right. Not saying you should go do that. That ain't what I'm saying do. Feel me? We waiting on Christ's return, man. Christ told us, be wait, man. Be vigilant, though. Feel me? Ain't nothing wrong with being vigilant. And that's what we do, you feel me? That's why we say we need to stop shopping at these businesses and start cutting out some of these nations, you feel me? We need to stop shopping at some of these. We know we can't do them all at once, but some of them we need to just stop shopping at, you feel me, to cripple they, finances and stuff like that. And that's what Nehemiah was on, man. He was telling them heathens, man, don't keep coming around here, man. That was love. That was love. That type of fight he wanted to do, that was love, man. The fight y'all want to do is because you drunk or you mad. all this goofy stuff. Man. He want to fight for his people. Feel me? To stop being sheep. Feel me? To the wolves. But anyway, yeah, you can drop that. I'm going to go to James 1 and 14.
It's the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 14. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed.
Right, man. So if you drawn to something, that's your lust. Feel me? But you gotta fight it though. Feel me? You gotta fight it. You gotta get it up off you, man. Feel me? Because your desires is not of the Lord. You feel me? The stuff you desire is not of the Lord. You feel me? And that's why you gotta come into the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander GEN.YAHANNA.
Right.
So you can know if what you desire is of the Lord or if it's of your flesh. Is it love or is it lust? What is this that I feel? I think I like this Hispanic woman. Is that cool? Yeah, that's cool. Okay, that's love. Oh man, I want to deal with this African girl. That's lust.
Right.
Feel me? But you won't know unless if you just out there in the world, going out doing whatever the pastor tell you to do, man. I'm telling you, man, because the pastors do what the Lord. You feel me? You feel me? They say the Lord wanted me to do it. That's what the pastors say. The pastors say the Lord wanted me to do this. The pastor slept with that little girl and that little boy and that man's wife. Say the Lord wanted me to do it. That's what the pastor's gonna tell you, man. That's what the priest's gonna tell you. That is a pedophile.
Right.
That is an adulterer, man. That man should be put to death. If this was Christ's kingdom, he'd be put to death for all them things. But the pastor's gonna say the Lord wanted me to do it. I'm telling you, man. Well, one pastor got locked up for having sex with young girls. He said when he went to jail that it was the Lord's will for him to go to jail and change men life that's in jail. Basically, like try to teach them about God. It was meant for him to go to jail so he could teach men about God. I said, man, you got to be kidding me, man. That's why I can't wait till Christ return.
Right.
I'm telling you, there's going to be so many people put to death, and it's going to be out of love. Because you will be back. You will be back. And this time you're going to learn the right way.
Right.
You're going to learn the right way this time. So, yeah, we're going to drop that and go to Matthew 5 and 30. Because we got to know the difference between lust and love. Something a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't know the difference. But you're going to learn today.
Right. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 30. And if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off.
Right.
Cast it slack.
Cut it off. Your right hand. No, I'm just playing. Don't cut off your right hand. This is talking about something that's important to you. Because your right hand is the hand of power.
Right.
Feel me? Hand of might. But they say if it offend you, cut it off. That's what Christ's saying. Christ saying if it offend you, cut it off. It's basically just talking about something that's important to you.
Right.
That you think is important to you, but it's really probably just lust.
And cast it from thee, for it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell.
Right? Somebody might have to get cut off, man. You hanging around somebody and they steady smoking weed, and you like doing like that, you might have to cut them off. You steady looking back, you seeing them roll up, you might need to cut them off, man. You hang with people, they playing with illegal guns and stuff like that, and you know the police come, they're going to put it on whoever they feel like it. And that could be you. Might need to cut them off.
Right.
Might need to get away with them. You dealing with, feel me, guys, they telling you white women is cool. They still be trying to put you on white women, and it's tempting you because the white girls might be feeling you because they just lustful as lust can get. Might need to cut them people off.
Right.
Feel me? You might need to cut stuff off. Feel me? Not just people, this stuff. Anything that I have you going against these commandments, you might have to cut it off, and that's what Christ is talking about with your right hand. Because it might be something that's important to you. Something that you've been doing all your life. Some people that you've been kicking it with all your life, but they causing you to sin or tempting you to sin. Might have to cut them off. Feel me? And that'll be love. That'll be love. And maybe you will show them, you feel me, that like, man, you know what he's doing is right. I'm going to follow after him. You might bring somebody in the truth like that. You might have cut them off. They might be calling you 2 months later. Like, yeah, man, what you did was righteous, man. And I was like, well, how did you do that? Oh, well, I found out, we the chosen people of God under Commander GEN.YAHANNA.
Right.
Oh, who is that? And you break down who Commander GEN.YAHANNA is, what the school is, what we about. Now, you done brought somebody in the truth with you feel me? That you didn't cut off. But yeah, you might have to cut off some stuff. A lot of people might have to get cut off. Definitely Mother's Day. Mother's Day for sure has to be cut off.
Right.
Even if you gotta, feel me, cut your mama off a month ahead of time.
Right.
Just to let her know I'm not coming over there.
It's real heavy what you saying, if I could. Because
come.
why can't you just call the day before?
Right.
Or the day after and say, Mama, I love you.
Right.
Why do you got to dictate when a damn, so-called oppressor, Edomites, tell you when to tell your mama you love her?
Right.
That's the whole thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy that you let them tell you when to love your mama. So I say slavery ain't over with yet. It's just mental now. It's chains is wrapped around the brain.
Right.
You got to get them unloosened, man. You need some boat cutters. So the boat cutters is the men in I.S.U.P.K. We the boat cutters. We cutting them locks off your mind and showing you, man, that, look, man, we free now, man. We free now, but you can be mentally enslaved still. But yeah, drop that and go to 2 Timothy 3 and 12. Right, man, because we get questioned every day, man. You don't think we don't get questioned every day about what we do, why we wearing this? Oh, that's the Star of Molech. That is the Star of David. That is idol worship. First of all, nobody never said Nike sign is idol worship.
Right.
If it wasn't Nike and Adidas, Reebok, nobody never said that's idol worship, man. When that stuff is just to show what brand you repping. So like this showing what we repping, man.
Right.
You feel me? We the real Jews. You feel me?
That's right.
David was the king that united Israel, and the Most High had favor on him to where he didn't destroy his sons as wicked as they was throughout the generations. All the way up until Christ even came up out of it. Feel me? So that's a whole nother story though.
It's the book of 2 Thessalonians.
No, it's like 2 Timothy 3 and 12. It's all good.
This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 12. Yea, and all that will live godly in Christ Jesus shall suffer persecution.
Right, suffer persecution. We get persecuted all the time.
Right.
Only other people get persecuted is when we come up against them. Feel me? Nobody else get persecuted but us, unless we the ones doing it, which is only right because we the judges of the earth. We the judges of the earth, so we can do that. You feel me? But people coming up against us and we ain't even doing nothing wrong. We telling the pastors, even though they closed now, to show how wicked they is, they can't molest children, man. That's not cool.
Right.
Y'all got to stop taking all them people money, man. Y'all is not the word of the Most High. Feel me? Stop having sex with people's wives and that, man. Stop letting women get up on a pulpit and teach men. You feel me? Which is against the Bible. You feel me? We coming up against the laws that they not keeping, and they coming up against us of the laws that we do keep. You feel me? That's lust. What we do is love, man. We rocking fringes, man. We rocking beards, man. Braids like the brother got. You feel me?
Right.
That's our customs and our statues, man. But they come up against us for doing it. You feel me? Because they not of the Most High in Christ. Now you keep going. We're just going to 13.
But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived.
Right, man. Like Eddie Long. See him. Nobody wanted to persecute Eddie Long. Now he dead and gone.
Right.
He done caught that disease. He dead and gone now. Because nobody wanted to persecute him, but they wanted to persecute us, and we still standing.
Right.
We still standing. COVID-19 free. And we open.
Right.
Come on, man. Y'all gotta know, man. Y'all gonna know them by their works, man. I'm telling you, you gonna know who the people of God is by their works, man. The last scripture I want to bring out is 1 Corinthians 10 and 6.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, and verse 6. Now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things, as they also lusted.
That's point blank period, man. we should not lust after things that they lusted after. In the context of what's going on, they talking to the children of Israel about what our forefathers done. It's not talking about even the heathen. It's talking about the stuff that our forefathers lusted after, the golden calves and the heathen women and stuff like that, man. The worshiping their gods and stuff like that. That is what they talking about. That's the context of what they talking about there. Now, these things were our example. The scriptures that we read from the beginning of the class to now is the same scriptures they was reading. Most of the stuff we read was in the Old Testament. You feel me? And that's what they saying in Corinth. You feel me? That now these were our examples. To the intent, we should not lust after evil things as they also lusted. This is how we not lose the kingdom, man. All the stuff we just read from the beginning of the class to now is how you don't lose the kingdom. How you have favor of the Most High. Right. His love. You feel me? You got to cut your lust out. All this stuff you lusting after, cut it out. Cut it out and the Most High be on your side, man. And maybe we could do it right this time, man. Right. Maybe we could do it right this time. That's the end of the class. Read the security announcements. With the I.S.U.P.K starting at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Room for new brothers and sisters. When new brother and sister come to the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They'll be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8 through 10, means 10th in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department. Free will offer for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. You got the 51st annual Passover. Stay in tune with your camp leaders to let you know when we're going to have it. Give a courtesy salute to the brothers watching the stream. Shabbat, Majum, Yahweh Hashem, Thumb. Yahweh courtesy salute to the sisters watching the stream. Shabbat. Barak. Yahweh Hashem, Hashem, Hashem.